I've always loved my family, my husband, Tom, and I live in a cozy suburban house with our 5-year-old son, Ethan. We're the kind of people who host barbecues, cheer at Little League games, and keep our door open for loved ones. My sister, Lisa, lives nearby with her husband, Joe, and their son, Kevin, who's 12. Kevin's like a second kid to me. He spends weekends at our place, sprawled on the couch with Ethan, playing video games or sneaking extra cookies. Those nights, filled with laughter and controller clicks, are what make life sweet. We're tight-knit, the kind of family that shows up for each other. No questions asked. Lisa and I grew up close, sharing secrets and dreams. When she married Joe, I was thrilled. Joe's a solid guy, a mechanic who'd fix anyone's car for free. He brought Kelly, his daughter from his first marriage, into the mix. Kelly was 9 when I met her, a quiet kid with sharp eyes. She'd visit every other weekend, splitting time between Lisa's house and her mom's place an hour away. At first, I tried to connect with her. I'd bake her favorite chocolate chip muffins or ask about school. But Kelly kept her distance. She'd give one-word answers, then disappear to her room with her phone. Tom said she was just shy. But I noticed how she'd twist stories like saying Lisa forgot her birthday when we all celebrated it. Small lies, but they left a bad taste. Life felt good. Though, Tom and I coached Ethan's soccer team, and I volunteered at the community center. Our house was the hub for family gatherings, Thanksgiving dinners, summer cookouts, you name it. Kevin loved it here. He'd beg to stay over, saying our place felt like a real home. Lisa and Joe were grateful, and we'd joke about being one big, messy family. But Kelly's visits started to shift things. She'd roll her eyes when I asked her to join us for dinner, or make snide comments about Tom's cooking. Once, she told Kevin that Ethan was spoiled, which stung. I brushed it off, thinking she was just a moody preteen. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Looking back, those moments were warning signs. Our happy routine game nights, family dinners. Kevin's easy grin hid cracks I didn't see coming. I was proud of our life, the way we built a warm, steady home. But Kelly's behavior, those little manipulations, were like storm clouds gathering. I didn't know then how they'd break, turning our world upside down. Those storm clouds I sensed broke one Saturday last spring. We were at Lisa's house for a family dinner, the kind where kids run wild and adults swap stories over coffee. Kelly, now 14, had been quieter than usual, picking at her food. Then, out of nowhere, she stood up, eyes blazing, and said, "Tom touched me. He's been inappropriate." The room froze. My fork clattered to the plate. Tom's face went white, like he'd been punched. I felt my heart lurch, a mix of disbelief and rage. "How could you say that?" Tom stammered, his voice cracking. "I've only ever treated you like family." Kelly didn't flinch, just crossed her arms and stared at the floor. Lisa gasped, covering her mouth, while Joe looked torn, his eyes darting between his daughter and Tom. Kevin, sitting next to me, whispered, "She's lying. She's always lying." I wanted to scream, but my throat felt tight, like I was choking on the words. The rest of the night was chaos. Lisa pulled Kelly aside, demanding details. But Kelly's story was vague, mumbled claims about Tom being too close in the kitchen. Tom and I sat in stunned silence as Joe tried to mediate, saying, "Let's all calm down and figure this out." But I couldn't calm down. My husband, the man who coaches kids' soccer and builds forts with Ethan, was being accused of something vile. I knew it wasn't true. Tom's never been alone with Kelly, and Kevin's certainty backed me up. Lisa believed us too, but Joe was stuck, torn between his daughter and his wife's family. By Monday, the accusation had spread like wildfire. Kelly told her friends at school, and their parents started whispering. A mom from Ethan's soccer team texted me, asking if everything was okay at home. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. At the grocery store, I caught neighbors staring, their hushed conversations stopping when I passed. Tom stopped going to community events, saying, "I can't face the looks." Our reputation, something we'd built over years in this town, was crumbling. I was furious at Kelly for lying, at the gossip for spreading, at the world for judging us. But more than that, I felt betrayed. We'd welcomed Kelly into our home, treated her like family, and this was how she repaid us. I kept picturing Tom's face that night, the hurt in his eyes. I swore I'd protect him. No matter what. Kevin's words kept echoing in my head. She's lying. I clung to that, determined to hold our family together. With the gossip spreading, I knew we had to act. Tom and I sat down that week, hearts heavy, and made a decision. Kelly was out of our lives. No apologies. No second chances. No contact. She crossed a line we can't forgive. I told Tom. He nodded, his jaw tight. I just want our family safe, he said. We were united, determined to protect Ethan and rebuild what Kelly's lie had broken. It wasn't easy, but it felt right. Desperate for support, I turned to Reddit. I poured out our story, hoping for understanding. Some users were amazing, sharing stories of false accusations and offering kind words. But others, they tore me apart. Your husband's probably guilty, one wrote. Another called me delusional for defending him. I stared at my phone, fuming. I couldn't believe strangers were calling my husband a predator. I told Lisa. The accusations stung worse than the town's whispers, like a betrayal from people I'd never met. I stopped reading the comments, but the hurt lingered. Then came more pressure. Joe's ex-wife, Kelly's mom, started calling. You're tearing our family apart, she said, urging us to let Kelly apologize. I shut her down. She lied about Tom. We're done, Lisa backed us. But Joe wavered, torn between his daughter and us. At a family meeting, he pleaded. Can't we find a middle ground? I shook my head. Not when it's about trust. The tension was suffocating, like a weight on my chest. Even our parents got involved, suggesting we work it out for family's sake. I felt cornered, judged from all sides, exhausted. I leaned on Tom and Lisa. We agreed to stand firm, no matter who pushed back. The Reddit hate, the family pressure, the town's gossip. It all fueled my resolve. I wasn't just fighting for Tom's name. I was fighting for our life, our home, our peace. Every nasty comment, every plea to reconcile, made me dig in deeper. We'd lost too much to bend now. As the pressure to forgive Kelly grew, my heart broke for someone else, Kevin. One night, after the family meeting, he showed up at our door, eyes red from crying. I hate her, he sobbed, collapsing onto the couch. Kelly's ruining everything. He told me about nightmares where he saw her accusing Tom, waking him up in a panic. Once, at school, he heard her name and froze, hyperventilating until a teacher calmed him down. Seeing my nephew, usually so full of life, crumble like that tore me apart. I'll keep you safe, I promised, hugging him tight. Lisa and Joe were struggling, too. Over coffee, Lisa confessed they'd started therapy to save their marriage. Joe loves Kelly, but Kevin's falling apart, she said. Their therapist stressed Kevin's needs stability, safety, distance from Kelly. Joe wrestled with guilt, wanting to support his daughter, but seeing the toll on his son. I don't know how to fix this, he admitted at one session, his voice heavy. Lisa stayed strong, but I saw the strain in her eyes, the way she gripped her mug like it was an anchor. They were fighting for their family, but the cracks were deep. Reflecting on my own childhood, I understood Kevin's pain. Growing up, Lisa and I leaned on each other through our parents' fights, learning that family loyalty meant everything. We'd sneak out to the backyard, promising to stick together no matter what. That bond shaped me, and now it drove me to protect Kevin. He wasn't just my nephew. He was family, and I'd do anything to see him smile again. Therapy gave me hope, a light at the end of this mess. I believed Kevin could heal, and I'd be there every step of the way, just like Lisa was for me. While Kevin's pain weighed on me, I felt a spark of hope. 2 days after sharing our story online, I got a call from Lisa. We need to talk, she said, her voice steady but tired. Over lunch, she laid out a plan. Kevin would stay with us for a week, while she and Joe visited Kelly at her mom's place. They'd sit Kelly down, set clear rules, and figure out next steps. Therapy's helping, Lisa said. We're keeping Kelly with her mom full time. Joe and I want to save our marriage, but Kevin comes first. I nodded, relieved. Finally, we were doing something. That night, Tom and I talked about the Reddit post. Some people get it, I said, scrolling through kind messages from users who'd faced similar lies. But others, they're vicious. Comments calling Tom a predator still stung. They don't know us, Tom said, squeezing my hand. We know the truth. His calm grounded me, but I couldn't shake the anger at strangers judging us. Still, the supportive messages gave me strength. Like a reminder, we weren't alone. The next day, Kevin arrived, his backpack slung over one shoulder. "Hey, Aunt Sarah," he mumbled, managing a small smile. We set him up in Ethan's room, and soon the boys were deep in a video game, their laughter filling the house. Watching Kevin's face light up as he teased Ethan about a missed shot, I felt my heart lift. For the first time in weeks, he seemed like himself. That night, we ordered pizza and played until midnight, the controller passing between us. "You're way better than Uncle Tom." Kevin grinned, and I laughed, savoring the moment. But later, I heard a cry from Ethan's room. I found Kevin thrashing in his sleep, muttering, "She's lying." I woke him gently, and he clung to me, tears streaming. "I keep seeing her say it," he whispered. "I'm scared she'll hurt you again." My throat tightened. "She won't," I said, stroking his hair. "You're safe here. We've got you." As he calmed, I realized how deep his fear ran. It broke my heart, but it also steeled my resolve. Kevin needed us, and I'd fight for his peace. No matter what, holding Kevin through his nightmare showed me how far we still had to go. But 3 weeks later, I saw progress. Kevin's therapy was working. His outbursts were fewer, and his therapist said he was opening up, though he still wouldn't say Kelly's name. I joined him for a session one afternoon, sitting in a cozy office with soft chairs. "I feel safer now," Kevin told the therapist, glancing at me. "Aunt Sarah's house is like a shield." I smiled, squeezing his hand. Hearing him find some peace warmed my heart. Even if the road was long, Lisa called with updates. She and Joe had visited Kelly at her mom's, finalizing plans for her to stay there full time. Kelly was transferring to a new school to avoid Kevin and the gossip. Lisa said Kelly's friends had turned on her after their parents banned her from their homes. "She's isolated," Lisa admitted. I didn't pity Kelly. Her lie caused too much pain, but I wondered what was next for her. "She needs to face consequences," I told Lisa, my voice firm, "but I hope she finds a way to change." It was a strange mix of feelings, like holding anger and faint curiosity at once. At home, Tom and I faced a new challenge. Joe came over, asking us to reconsider Kelly's exclusion. "She's my daughter," he said, eyes pleading. "Maybe in time, you could talk." Tom shook his head. "She hurt our family? Joe, we can't." I backed him up, saying, "Kevin's our priority. Kelly stays out." Joe left, frustrated, and the argument left a bitter taste. We hated fighting with family, but our boundaries weren't negotiable. Protecting Ethan and Kevin came first. No matter who pushed back, the Reddit community kept buzzing. Some users shared stories of false accusations, and their words hit home. "It's like living under a microscope." One wrote, "Reading that, I realized how common this pain was. Families torn apart, trust shattered." It made me think beyond our story, about how lies ripple through lives. I didn't reply, but I felt less alone, like others carried the same scars. Then came a test. At a community fair, I overheard whispers about Tom. "That's the guy Kelly accused," someone muttered. My blood boiled. I stepped up to the group, voice steady. "My husband's innocent. Kelly lied, and we're moving on." They looked away, embarrassed. Tom, beside me, whispered, "You didn't have to," but I did. Defending him felt like reclaiming our life. I walked away proud, head high, ready to keep fighting for our family's peace. Standing up for Tom at the fair marked a turning point, and 2 years later, our family has found solid ground. Kevin's come a long way. He's 14 now, thriving in school, and back to his old self cracking jokes and leading his soccer team to victories. Last month, we threw him a big birthday party at our house. He grinned ear to ear, blowing out candles while Ethan cheered beside him. "This is the best day," Kevin said, hugging me tight. Watching him laugh with friends, I felt a weight lift. He's healed, and our bond's stronger than ever. Like he's part of our home. Lisa and Joe are doing well. Too, their marriage held strong, thanks to therapy and hard work. Kelly lives permanently with her mom now, and Joe sees her occasionally, always away from Kevin. It's the only way to keep peace, Lisa told me over coffee. They respect Kevin's need for distance, and it's working. Joe's found a balance, being a dad to both kids without forcing them together. I admire their effort, even if it's not my fight. Our family gatherings, Thanksgivings, summer barbecues are back to being warm, with Kevin at the center. No trace of old tensions, Tom's reclaimed his place in the community. He started volunteering at the local youth center, coaching kids and fixing broken bikes. People see him for who he is again, not the lie Kelly spread. It feels good to give back, he said one night, smiling softly. I'm proud of him, of us. We've moved past the shadow of that accusation, building a life focused on love and trust. The whispers in town have faded, replaced by respect for the man I've always known. Therapy helped me grow, too. I started sessions last year, working through my anger. I learned to let go of some of the rage toward Kelly, not for her sake, but for mine. I still won't see her or forgive her. Her lie cut too deep. But I don't carry that hate every day anymore. It's like setting down a heavy load. Reflecting on Reddit, I'm grateful for the users who stood by us. Their stories of surviving false accusations gave me strength, like a lifeline in the storm. Sharing our truth online, messy as it was, helped me heal. One day, I ran into Kelly's mom at the grocery store. My stomach knotted, but I stayed calm. I heard Kevin's doing great, she said, her voice cautious. He is, I replied, keeping it short. We're focused on our family now, she nodded, and we parted without a fight. It was tense but civil, proof our boundaries held. I walked away feeling steady, knowing we'd chosen the right path. Our life's good now. Ethan's growing fast, Kevin's our constant, and Tom's my rock. I've built a family that's mine, not defined by Kelly's actions or others' judgments. I'm thankful every day for that.